Alright, welcome along to the Wannabes Racing League right here on F1 2019. My name is Racer X. I'm going to be commentating tonight's race here for the Wannabes Racing League once again. We are now down to 2 races left. Tonight we are racing in the Bahrain International Circuit in Secure, Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bit of a good flow track, but a little bit more of a tire killer sort of track. About 5.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles of the track, and 15 corners is what these drivers are going to have to deal with. And of course, one of the 3 or 4 circuits that goes under the lights, as you can see on your screen. So looks like today we got a 14 car grid for tonight's race. And surprisingly though, the current points leader, Dougie Falcon, who won last week in Spain, is not yet in the grid at this very moment, but his rivals XJ Schmidt and Banana Cake Pie are in the race tonight, so we will see what they can do and maybe see if they can capitalize any opportunity to hopefully get closer to Dougie before the final race in Australia, which will be next week. So pretty much the tire compounds is the tire compound that they are going to be possibly going with is the harder strategy. As you can see, a lot of them are going for the harder strategy tires. Quite a few of them on hards, like Row E, Banana, Gaming Burger, AU Wingman, and a few others, except for Danny Rick, who is on the softs, and so is Alex96. So I think, who should I do? I think let's ride along. We'll ride along with Sick and Destroy once he gets ready to go for his first flying lap, and he's doing it on the mediums. He's the only one that's actually doing it on the medium tires. So we'll ride along with him once he gets going. Danny Rick will be the first one to start his lap. He normally starts, pretty much if you watch this stream, he's typically the first one out always. But I think he's on the wrong bit of the strategy though, because those tires are not going to last that long, especially in a track like Bahrain. Those soft tires will probably last, I will say, in my opinion, probably about 6 or 7 laps. And there's a caution in this second sector between the Williams cars. Yeah, so I haven't rode along with Sick just yet, but we'll have him do your little tour of the Secure circuit here in Bahrain. And of course, it's also one of the 2 Middle Eastern countries to host a F1 race in the current year. So we'll ride along with Sick as he goes through the first DRS zone down the long straightaway, probably nearly half a mile down to the hard braking zone of turn 1. Got to go deep into the brakes there, into the hard kink in turn 2, and then turn 3, which is a tight little kink on the right side, followed by another DRS zone, which will get you towards turn 4. Now that you're going to have to do a little bit of hard braking, but also try to go slow in, fast out. And then followed by the little S's in the end of the first sector. And then we get into the hard right-hand turn before we get into the third DRS zone, which is probably the most technical bit of the track. You have to brake really hard and really early to get a good exit. Now we go into the third DRS zone, and now he will go into the brakes a little bit slowly on the brakes as he goes a little bit outside. Oh, he makes a little bit of a slide there, and rubs curve there. No, that's the thing there. That in turn, I think that was turn 13. Yeah, that little curb there, that is the curb of death. If you hit that curb on the inside, that will do exactly what he just did. Let me follow you up the times then. Danny Rick is on pole with a 128.9. He did that on the soft. Same with Alex, but he went second fastest, 128.6. Gaming Burger went 128.9 on the hard tires. That's a solid lap on the hard tires. Banana Cake Pie went a 129.4. Rudy went a 130.0. 131.2 for NBC Alcatraz. 131.5 on the hard tires for row E. Sick did a 142.4, but of course you saw he spun. And Tay Lunacy followed that up with a 151.3, so he probably had a bit of a problem as well. XJ Schmidt is the closest one to do his lap. We'll see what he can do, and he goes 6th fastest with a 131.0 on the hard tires. So right now we have yet to see Very Lazy Towel, Cracker Jack, A Wayne Man, and Blue Dog yet to do a flyer. Wait, there's actually 14 cars, not 15 cars. I thought it's okay. I must have been seeing things because I thought it said 15 cars, but now it's 14 cars on the grid. Oops. So I'm wondering if the hard runners are gonna do another lap. I think they would. Nope, actually, I would take that back. Well, Banana Cake Pie was the closest to do it for the hard runners, but he's going to the pits. I mean, you could at least go for another lap on those tires to get another feel of it, see how you can go with it. Normally what I would do, if you had to go for the hard strategy, just go maybe like, I probably would say for Bahrain, like the lowest you can go is probably, if I had to take a rough guess, probably about 3 kilos. Maybe about, or not 3 kilos, 3 laps of fuel. So you're probably, that's probably the lowest you could go, I would say. But I think you can go maybe like another 4 or 5 laps of fuel, which is probably about like 6 kilos of fuel. But I mean, that's what I would do. But I'm not like the other drivers, so. And Danny Rick just went a little bit faster with a 128.6. Wait, no, 128.4. Excuse me. So he goes another 10th faster from his previous time, and I think Game Burger is still out there on the hard tires, so he'll do another lap soon. Let's check on. Let's see. It looks like Blue Dot just did a lap. Yep, there it is. 132.0 on the mediums. Not a bad lap, though, from the Haas driver. And I think that's Rowie that's closest to the line. He's doing another on the hard tires, so actually, I take that back. He's going to the pits. Pretty much, I'll try to give you the point standings as we go along later on, but for now, I'm just going to try to focus on what's going on out here. Let's see. Sick and Destroy, I think he might have botched his lap, but he did go faster with a 130.1. Let's see. That's a McLaren coming towards the line. Yep, that's XJ Schmidt. He goes even faster, 129.1. A great lap there from the McLaren. So it does another lap on the hard compound tires. And I think we got a Renault coming towards the line. Is that Alcatraz? Oh, but he got his lap invalidated, so that's not going to count. A Wayman, he's the closest to the line. We'll see what he can do for the Ferrari. And he goes 129.0. Just bumps down XJ Schmidt and goes 4th fastest. Just nearly a 10th off of Gaming Burger. A great lap, though, from the Ferrari. And I think we had... Did we get another lap on the board? Or was it another change? That I didn't catch. Oh, I think Blue Dot just went faster, yeah. Blue Dot just went a 129.8 on the mediums. And how about the Williams drivers of Rudy and Alex? Well, I think they're a little too close to each other. You might want... They should have given each other a little bit more space. I hope they don't impede each other's laps. Rudy's doing that on the hard tires, but Alex is on the softs. But Alex looks like he's a bit laggy on my screen. So hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems when we go along with the race. Very Lazy Towel is about to start his flyer. We'll check on him a little later on. Gaming Burger looks like he's the closest to do another lap, and we'll see what he can do. I think he's doing another run on the hards, which he is. And there's a caution in the second sector. It looks like a Haas might have spun out. Or no, it's a Racing Point. Oh, never mind. He goes to the pits. Yeah, it was Banana Cake Pie that spun around. And looks like a Haas slowed down in front of a Toro Rosso. That was Lunacy and Blue Dog, but that doesn't matter. They weren't on laps anyway. So let's see. I think we have the Williams drivers closest. Alex invalidated his lap, but Rudy has not. So he's doing another lap on the hard tires. So let's see what he can do. This is the fresher set, I would assume. And he goes 7th fastest, 129.3. So the hard runners, as you can see, are separated from each other by nearly 5/10 of a spread between 3rd and 8th place. That's really solid pace going on right now. And also, just following on the comments, Alex started off with the Banana Cake Pie, as that's what Banana Cake Pie's normal symbol is whenever he starts whenever the live stream comes on. So kind of beat him to it. Of course, Alex is trying to make his mark though on. He told me earlier he was trying to make his mark on Banana Cake Pie, trying to give him a little intimidation, I would say. But anyways, back to actually speaking of Banana, we'll see what he can do on the hard tires. It looks like he's about to do another lap on the hard tires again. Gets the DRS open, and he goes at least 8/100ths of a second faster, but just 4/100ths of a second slower than Toes Rudy. Looks like we have another Williams coming to his line. Nope, that's Rudy just coming to the pits. Let's see. Who's closest? I think that's Alcatraz? Yeah, he's just doing a lap. Starting his lap. Danny Rick is starting on the mediums. I am not entirely sure why he's doing that, because he just had a lap on the softs, and he did that with the same compound too. So that's a bit of a risk in your strategy, I would say, and it's kind of to me it's kind of pointless if you did a soft lap and then do a medium lap. Like, I don't understand that kind of logic, to be honest. Towel is closest to the line. Let's see what he can do. And it said he went a 134, but it did not pop up on the graphic for some reason on my screen. Oh, and Lunacy's out already. Oh, okay, I can see where he crashed. He crashed at the curb of death. Yep, there it is. You can see it. He crashed his car when he was coming out of turn 13. That curve of death, that inside curve, I'm thinking that's what happened. I don't know. But I think that's exactly what happened to him. So Alex is starting his lap. I think there's a Renault. That might be Alcatraz. Yes, it is. He is doing his lap on the mediums. Of course, I think this is now the time where the drivers will have to go, that are going from hard strategy will adapt to the medium strategy. And Alcatraz goes a 126.5, puts him 9th fastest. And I think Danny Rick just went across the line again. But obviously does not improve his time because he's still running on the mediums. What is going on over in Sector 1, though? Okay, looks like Alcatraz just slowed down. Okay, as long as no one's impeded each other's laps. Towel got his lap invalidated, so he has to go to the pits. As my voice cracks. Excuse me. Those Williams cars are a little bit close to each other, I will say. I think Rudy might have impeded Alex's lap a little bit, because they were very close to each other towards turn 11, which is something you don't want to do, especially if you're doing a qualifying session, because that curve is extremely deadly in my opinion. Yeah, you can see that his lap got ruined, so he has to go back to the pits now. Crackerjack and Tal yet to set a lap at all. Roe is about to come across the line with the medium tires, and he goes second fastest. Splits between the soft runners and goes 128.6 on the mediums. And I think I didn't catch it earlier, but XJ Schmidt went fourth fastest on the hard tires a little while ago. So he's above Gaming Burger. And looks like a Ferrari's getting slow there. It's just a wingman just slowing down. I don't know why Crackerjack is not coming out of the pits, though. He hasn't even come out at all. I haven't been aware of a quali ban that he's got. I don't think he has a quali ban. But if he wants to get out, he has to get out quickly. He's got 2 minutes to go if he wants to set a flyer. Speaking of that, let's see if any of the... Let's see. Yeah, there's a Williams. It's Rudy that's close, but he's not doing a lap quite just yet. Banana is... No, not Banana. It's Roe, the closest one to do another lap. Will he do another lap is the question. I don't know if he can. As you can see, he was 2.2 seconds slower in the second sector, so I don't think he's going to do another lap unless he feels like it. But might as well try to save your tires as much as possible. Nope, he's going to go ahead and go across the line, and he will go at 131.5. Game Burger's about to do his lap, and he'll do his on the mediums. And we'll see what he can do. XJ Schmidt, though, who is also one of the front runners in the medium tire compounds, is closest to do a lap. And I think there's a Ferrari ahead of him. That's a Tal. He'll set his laps very quickly. AU Wingman is now on pole with a 128.2. But what can the McLaren of XJ Schmidt do as he comes towards the line? And he will go, and he bumps himself into pole by 8/100ths of a second ahead of AU Wingman. Solid lap by the McLaren. And speaking of McLaren, does Cracker have enough time to get across the line? Oh, he just made it by 2 seconds. He is so lucky. So now he's going to start his lap. And the Williams cars are about to do the laps. Rudy will not. He's invalidated. Same with Alex. He got invalidated as well. So I think the closest now is Gaming Burger. Where will he go? And he goes pole. 127.9. Nearly 0.3 faster than XJ Schmidt, which means Gaming Burger is your pole sitter unless Very Lazy Tal or Crackerjack can set a lap time. So that's the drivers who are the closest. Oh, no, well, never mind. Tal got his lap invalidated, so he won't even have a lap time at all. So now all eyes are on Crackerjack, the other McLaren, and see what he can do. Of course, you know the McLaren are also one of the top runners in the constructors. Oh! How did we... That was quite a Tokyo drift there, Crackerjack. I don't know how he managed to save that car, but great job to save it. So now he will come towards the final corner now. We'll see what he can do in that McLaren. As he comes towards the line, opens up the DRS wing, and he goes 13th fastest with a 1:30.6. But yeah, that slide definitely cost him a lot of time. I think XJ's he still got another lap on him. Yep. Nope, never mind. He's going to the pits. He had a cooldown. So that means your pole sitter is Gaming Burger. Yet again for the Alfa Romeo. Of course, if you remember last week, he suffered a heartbreaking loss in last week's race by crashing out in the final lap of the race in the Spanish Grand Prix. So your order is now Gaming Burger in first, Banana Cake Pie in second, XJ Schmidt in third, AU Wingman in fourth, Roe in fifth, Danny Rick in sixth, Alex in seventh, Toes Rudy in eighth, NBC Alcatraz in ninth, Blue Dog in 10th, Second Destroy in 11th, Tay Lunacy in 12th, Cracker Jack in 13th, Very Lazy Tell in 14th, and that is it. That is your grid for tonight's race. So, pretty good qualifying session, I gotta say, though, from pretty much the top runners. Very close, separate pretty close between, mostly between the top five. Gaming Burger was the only one to crack the 127s, so good job by him. Now let me go ahead and talk you through the driver standings currently. So, since it looks like Dougie Falcon is not going to race, Banana Cake Pie and Rudy and XJ Schmidt have a chance to at least gain somewhat of an advantage. They need to get at least somewhere in the top five. Maybe, actually, I would say mostly top three, to be honest. Because if one of them wins tonight, let's say if Banana wins, that would mean he would be down by 13 points from Dougie Falcon. Unless something does happen to where they retire from the race, then there might be a change in that. Alcatraz Gaming says, let's get it. Well, good luck to you, definitely. All right, so let me put on the telemetry real quick. So let me walk you through the constructors real quickly. Mercedes still leads the way by 41 points over Alfa Romeo. Racing Point down by I think that's a little bit mixed. Because the point standings I'm reading off of is a little bit mixed. Because it says on what I'm reading from, Alfa Romeo is down by 41 points, but Racing Point is down by 24. Okay, so it should be flipped. My bad. So, actually, Racing Point is down by 24 points, and Williams is down by 39 points. Alpha is down by 41, and McLaren's down by 47. So, Racing Point has a chance to at least get close to the Constructors' title. Even though Gaming Burger I've seen is the fastest one of the fastest drivers, and one of the drivers that's closest to competing against the our current points leader, Dougie Falcon, he's definitely going to try to at least, I would say he can't go for the title, but he can at least try to help out in the Constructors portion of it. So now we have the grid almost forming up. Banana's the only one that's been holding up the grid. Gaming Burger's just kind of in his own world right now. All right, so now we're going to get the drivers, excuse me, get the drivers onto the grid, and we will get ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the second to last race before we head off to Melbourne, Australia. And of course, this is a lot of the grid's home track, everyone on the grid's home track, so definitely want to try to claim the title for next week from all the drivers I mentioned. So let's see if Codemasters give me a better camera angle, though. Codemasters, please work with me. Codemasters, please give me a better camera angle. Okay, there you go. 5 lights coming on ahead of the drivers for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out. And away we go. Gaming Burger gets a really good stop, but a Banana Cake Pie gained a much better jump on the inside line going into turn 1. Banana Cake Pie on the inside of Gaming Burger. Now onto the outside of the kink of turn 2, and Banana Cake Pie gets a better run out of it. But XJ Schmidt has a better run off of Gaming Burger as well. And Banana Cake Pie gained the far better advantage, but XJ Schmidt coming inside. Contact made there at the end of turn 4. XJ Schmidt and Banana Cake Pie wheel to wheel through the S's in the end of the second sector. XJ Schmidt gets the better of it and takes the lead ahead of them ahead of the racing points. Roe, look at the ground he's made of. Now all the way up into third place. Great start there from the racing points as well. That's what they actually needed for the constructors. And Roe's trying to battle with his teammate. Almost kicked contact. And almost took out the guy that's the closest to gain the championship. And Alex is trying to go on the inside. And Banana holds him off. And Rudy has a 3-second penalty already. Roe goes extremely wide at the end of turn 11. So Roe, after going from third to a few corners, moves himself all the way down into 6. And XJ Schmidt, though, after the whole skirmish there in the beginning of the race, is now up by 1.1 seconds, and he will lead the first lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of his rival, Banana Cake Pie, with Alex, who's not really in the fight, but he is in third place. NBC Alcatraz, though, is right behind him as well, followed by Danny Rick, Roe, Gaming Burger, who's fallen all the way down from pole, all the way down to 7th place after the first lap. AU Wingman is right behind him as well. Blue Dog is having a skirmish here with Very Lazy Tal, and Tal gets the better of it, but Blue Dog's coming back him on the outside of turn 4. Very Lazy Tal defends the inside corner, sticks ahead of him in turn 4, and stays ahead in 9th place. But Rudy also, he's had a terrible start as well. After, I think he qualified somewhere in the top 5, has done his way all the way back down to 13th place. But yeah, you can see he's lost about 5 positions after starting 8th on the grid. He's gained contact though with Crackerjack. He's got the better run off of him in turn 10, and he's got the better of him wheel to wheel still down towards turn 11. Okay, he sits back and goes behind the McLaren so far right now. 1.5 seconds now is separate between XJ Schmidt and Banana Cake Pie. And after the second lap, we will go to the third lap, and DRS will be enabled for the drivers that are down by 1 second, under 1 second from the car ahead of them. So now XJ Schmidt will come across, and DRS is now enabled by race control. Alcatraz gets ahead of Alex, and I could probably tell right now from my point of view, Alex's tires are starting to fade away right now. Because like I said, these tires, the soft tires in this track are very unkind. Especially because mostly it's because of the heat from the track temperature. Track temperature in Bahrain, I would say, is normally between 95, maybe 100 degrees. And that's also a big time wear on your tires. And I think Alex is starting to feel that right now. Gaming Burger has now climbed his way up from 7th now to 5th place after having himself a terrible start. The pole sitter all the way down to 5th. So pretty much looking like, if I remember, XJ Schmidt, I think he's currently 4th. Let me check back on the constructor standings real quickly. So with no, excuse me, with no Dougie Falcon in the race, he so far has the fastest lap and the race lead. If it holds, he will get 36 points, which means he would be about 22 points behind Dougie Falcon. So pretty much it's going to be set in line for a great battle for Australia. Gaming Burger has now climbed himself up into 4th place. Gets by the Williams of Alex. And Alex thought about going inside of turn 4, but he says, no, I'm not going to do that, and sticks behind him. Now Gaming Burger is bringing the pressure on the Renault of NBC Alcatraz. Alcatraz though, does not have much ERS compared to Gaming Burger. Alcatraz goes pretty wide there at the end of turn 9. And Gaming Burger on the outside will get DRS from the Renault. And, oh, that's going to cost him there. I think there's going to be a warning there, especially going that wide out of that corner. Gaming gets the inside line out of the DRS. Wheel contact between him and Alcatraz, and Gaming gets ahead of him. Now he's moved himself up into 3rd place. So far we can see now Gaming is showing some strong pace, but I don't think he's quite done yet with NBC Alcatraz. Alcatraz will get DRS once they head towards the main straight. Ooh, he goes a little bit deep in the brakes there at the end of turn 15. So did Alex. He went completely wide. Now he's going to try to get DRS, but Gaming wants to try to avoid giving him the slipstream, but that's not going to happen though. Alcatraz goes on the outside, but does he make the move? Outside move into turn 1. Not quite just yet. He does it going too deep. No, he cuts the corner, but that definitely, yep, there it is. He got a 3-second penalty for that. But that also allowed Gaming to get DRS as soon as he got ahead of him, just slightly ahead of him in the detection zone. So that pretty much worked into Gaming favor, and Gaming will remain in 3rd place. Now Gaming has his eyes set on the racing point ahead of him, which is Banana Cake Pie. He's only down by 2.7 seconds, but he is showing tremendous pace. Been a crazy 5 laps out of 29 so far, I've got to say. But XJ Smith right now just leading the way. 3.5 seconds separate him and Banana Cake Pie between 1st and 2nd. Roe, though, he's definitely climbed back up, and now he's up into 5th place. Definitely the medium tires are working more into his favor. Alex right now is the only one on the softs. Danny, I think he pitted a little while ago. He's on the hard tires now. So he's just trying to gun for a one-stop strategy. This is pretty much a one-stop strategy circuit. Mostly if it's best for the medium tire. Lunacy just got ahead of Crackerjack there, and he's up into 7th. Crackerjack has moved himself up from 2nd to last up into 8th. Moves himself up 5 positions after 6 laps. Great job by that McLaren, and definitely great help for the constructor side as well. Rudy now has 6 seconds of penalties too. Now Alcatraz, who's kind of fallen off the pace a little bit, is now under pressure from the other racing point of Roe. We'll see if he could at least get somewhat of an advantage. He does not have a penalty just yet. Alcatraz does. So that means Roe would get 4th place if he stays within that Renault. But I think he wants a little bit more than that. Tao, I don't know what happened there. He just went completely twitchy out of the end of that corner. Yeah, you could see that Roe, I think, is starting to bring the pressure on that Renault. He's only down by 8/10, but does he have enough DRS to get him if he does get some better exits? I think he got a little bit of a better exit there out of that corner at the end of turn 14, excuse me. Yeah, gained a little bit by nearly 5/100ths out of that corner. But he will get DRS, but will he get him is the question. I don't think so. Gameberger just hit the fastest at the race. So there goes that extra point that XJ Smith would possibly need, because we know points are crucial. Roe does not get to NBC Alcatraz and will stay behind him in 5th place. But Tao, who did not set a lap time in qualifying, has moved himself up from 14th to 6th. So far that Ferrari is doing a great job. And A. Wayneman, he looks like he went into the pits a little while ago. I don't know if he had damage. because he was also one of the medium runners as well. So he went in a lot earlier than the guys that are on the medium tires. So, well, Eddie Wayman's going to probably have to pray for a safety car. Crackerjack and Tay Lunacy battling it out for 7th place. Still, a little bit of contact there. Looks like Tay Lunacy might have bumped him a little bit out there. Crackerjack and Lunacy still battling out. And I think no one's going to get by just quite yet. Crackerjack, though, is still bringing the pressure from that Toro Rosso. Lunacy's highest position that he's gone so far this season has been 7th place. But, ooh, Crackerjack had a massive lockup at the end of turn 14. But DRS will be enabled for the McLaren. This McLaren, ooh, so close. He locks up yet again at the end of turn 15. Now DRS is enabled. Lunacy, though, does get a better runaway than that McLaren, but we'll see if he can get by him. And he's got the slipstream inside of turn 1. Does he make the move? No. He just stays right behind him for now. And Towell has a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, which is multiple corner cuts. And I think Lunacy might have got a warning for that corner cut there as well out of that kink in turn 2. So that's going to affect him as well. But still, great racing, though, between the mid-pack so far. Gaming Burger, though, has climbed up now to the back of Banana Cake Pie. Look at the pace. You can see how much pace this guy has got. He's climbed his way after having a bad start from 7th, and now he's maybe at the reach of gaining 2nd place. And if any of you watching, let me know in the comments who will come out on top in this race. And so far, it's looking like to be, at least to me, XJ Schmidt, Banana Cake Pie, and a Gaming Burger podium. Question is, where will they end up? XJ Schmidt, though, has broken himself away from now from 5.4 seconds. DRS is enabled for the Alfa Romeo. He's got a lot of straight line speed, but I don't think he's got quite enough just yet to get by the racing point. So he'll have to wait until the 2nd DRS detection zone, and he'll try to get him out of the kink. That Banana just went a little bit squirrely there at the end of turn 3. DRS is back to being enabled again for the Alfa Romeo. Goes on the inside towards turn 4. Nope, he thought about it. Stays right behind the racing point for now. And he also got a bit squirrely there at the end of turn 4. Now we go into the S section. Gaming Burger is still bringing the pressure behind that racing point. You can see these guys are just trying to conserve as much energy as possible. Because we know sometimes the DRS detection zone, in some areas I would say, is very powerful. This area, the 3rd DRS detection zone, and the first one, the front stretch, I probably would say is the most powerful out of any of them in the circuit. Gameburger is now down by 0.3. But yes, he will get DRS, but he's got to not make any mistakes if he wants to get by that racing point. DRS will be enabled. He's got 84% ERS to burn. Goes really deep in the brakes. Now DRS will be enabled for the Alfa Romeo. And Banana's trying to get away from that slipstream. No, he cannot. He's literally a sitting duck now. And he goes on the outside, and he takes 2nd place. Will he get 2nd place? No, he's not. Wheel to wheel at the end of turn 1, now into turn 2, at the end of the kink. And Gaming Burger now takes 2nd place, but DRS will be coming back for Banana Cake Pie. Banana wants that slipstream on the outside. This is great racing from these two. And a little bit of contact there from the racing point. Gaming Burger comes out on top and gets 2nd place. Great job by the Alfa Romeo. That puts him down into 2nd place. Now he's got a McLaren to hunt down from XJ Schmidt. 6.1 seconds is the gap now between these two. But the question is, when will they pit is the question. Because to me, I feel like the medium tires are going to last probably for at least another 4 or 5 laps. So after that, they'll probably move on to the, excuse me. We'll move on to the hard tires. Because it's pretty much a one-stop strategy. You don't want to go on the softs, obviously, because that's going to kill your tires. Alex is back out there with a new set of soft tires that he pitted for 4 laps ago. Why is he still? Why is he still on the softs? Is my question. So Sick and Destroy, Danny Rick, and A. Wainman are on hard tires. So pretty much those guys are going to have to pray for a safety car to come out for them. Ooh, look at this little battle. This is between the Ferrari and the Renault of Towel and Alcatraz. Towel got a great slipstream there. Gets on the inside, gets it done. The two best friends are, well, pretty much not racing like best friends right now. Just battling out for each other. But now Alcatraz will get DRS down the back stretch towards turn 4. He thought about it. Trying to go either outside or inside. He kept thinking, which way am I going to go? But no, he's going to stick behind the Ferrari and will remain in 5th place. Towel will remain in 4th place. But Towel does have a 3-second penalty, but so does Alcatraz. So this would be anybody's game right now. But right now, I would probably have to say if this continues, Towel would be my driver of the day. From after starting from dead last on the grid, not having a timed lap in qualifying, and moving himself 10 spots is really good. So right now, he's definitely my prime candidate for driver of the day right now. But that gap is now closed out. Can I mention about Gamerberger's pace right now? I know I've said this so many times. What was the gap? If you remember what the gap was, what was the gap a while back? It was like 6 seconds. Now it's 4.8 seconds. Gamerberger's now gone in the pit, so I think now is the time he's going to fit on those hard tires, which he is. And Banana falls right behind him. He gets on the hard tires as well. Alcatraz comes to the pits as well. And Towel does come to the pits as well. Gets on the hard tires. Everyone. Ooh! Towel just got ahead of the Renault. Almost followed up what happened between Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc last year in the British Grand Prix when they were wheel-to-wheel down the pit lane. Well, I mean, you can't do it in this game because it's not possible. Because Codemasters. But now they've fallen down into 9th place. XJ Schmidt is still out there. The McLarens are now 1 and 2. So this is looking good for them. But the question is, when are those two going to pit? I'm thinking XJ Schmidt's going to have to pit very soon. I would have thought they would at least go for another couple laps more on those hard, medium tires. Because you can last another last about 14 laps on those tires. But I guess they didn't want to stretch it. So pretty much Gamerberger is going to have to pray for the undercut to work. So XJ Schmidt's coming to the pits now. And will fit on the harder tires. And we'll see what Crackerjack does. I think he's most likely going to stay out. Unless he goes in the pits as well. Well, of course it won't risk the double stack. So yeah, Crackerjack will come into the pits just under 50 miles an hour, thankfully. So he does not get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So no double stack. The pit crew were ready for him, thankfully. And, oh, actually, a little bit, wait. Okay, there was a glitch. I forgot. Sometimes Codemasters does this little thing where, like, if you follow the car that's going to the pits, they fit on the same compound that they started, but they don't. I don't know why, but that's what they do. So Crackerjack moves himself down. Now into 11th place. Gets behind Lunacy. So now those two are going to have to battle yet again. Alex is still out there, though, on the soft tires, but he has to pit soon. He has to fit on a different compound. He can't stick with the soft tire. But I am amazed that he's gone 7 laps on those tires, because those tires have got to be screaming to death. Wayman just got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Does he have wing? Oh, he got wing damage. And he's fitted on the softs? Why with 17 laps to go? Is my question. Oh, he fit on the... Codemasters, please tell me something. Can you at least show me the correct tires that's supposed to be on? For when they put it on, at least. But back to the race itself, instead of bashing Codemasters. XJ Schmidt and Gameberger are now separated by 4.1 seconds. So Gameberger just closed about 5/10 after he pitted that lap. So he pretty much pushed it in that lap, in the pit lap that XJ was supposed to come in the pit window. So now Gameberger could possibly bring the pressure towards the McLaren. But now Sick and Destroy, though, and Banana Cake Pie are in the battle. Sick and Destroy up into 4th place. But his tires are so old. He's got 13-lap-old hards compared to Banana's 2-lap-old hards. I couldn't remember. Did Sick start on the soft tires? It said here. It says he started on hards. What? He couldn't have started on one compound. Did he start on one compound? Oh, he probably did. Okay. Shoot, well, I did not catch that. So apparently he has to pit soon as well. So pretty much Sick is on a hard medium strategy is what I'm guessing. So with the hard tires, he's probably going to last another 4 laps. And then he'll have to pit for mediums. But where will that put him? I'm thinking he'll be somewhere in the top 10. Maybe 11th is what I'm going to guess. The gap is now closed to 3.6 seconds. And now, okay, now Sick and Destroy comes to the pits, but he got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. So where will he go once he comes out of the pits? And Ruby's going to get by him. I think Alex will get... No, okay, so he will go into 11th, like I said. So he will go into 11th place. The racing points, though, I have to say are on the prime spot for constructors because right now they're in 3rd and 4th. So far doing a fantastic job for the constructor side of things. XJ Schmidt, though, if I'm XJ Schmidt, obviously I'm feeling pressured right now with what's going on here. So I got a comment from someone named Adam Hills that says they deserve a bashing. I'm guessing he's referring to Gameberger and XJ. I'm guessing they know each other personally. I'm not quite entirely sure. But anyway, so the gap is 3.1 seconds separate each other from XJ Schmidt and Gaming Burger. Normally, Dougie Falcon and Gaming Burger would be battling out if Dougie was here, though. Because that's what it's been for, like, the last, like, couple races. But XJ Schmidt and Gaming Burger have had themselves some good battles as well. So I think we might be in line to see that in the last part of the race. Maybe in the second half of the race. As we're pretty much nearing the halfway point. With 16 laps down and 14 laps to go until the checkered flag. And yeah, like I said, the next race will be held in Melbourne, Australia. So, of course, it would be the home race for a lot of the Aussies on the grid, like XJ Schmidt, Game Burger, Banana Cake Pie, Very Lazy Towel, NBC Alcatraz, Danny Rick, Tay Lunacy, no, she's not Cracker Jack, he's Kiwi, and Blue Dog and A Wingman. Of course, that's something that they definitely would want to win, obviously. Of course, it's obviously the best feeling when you win your home Grand Prix as well. Now the gap is closed to 2.2 seconds after 3 laps. The gap was I think it was 4.2 seconds about 4 laps to go. So this is definitely a big push from this Alfa Romeo. They're on similar age tires. SJ's on 3-lap-old tires because he pitted later than Gaming Burger, but Gaming Burger is just closing in, and he set another fast lap with a 1:30.9 on the hards, may I remind you. So he is pushing. Very lazy Tell just got himself 6 seconds of penalties. So now that puts him, let's see, with Alcatraz being 2.8 seconds, Danny Rick being close to 3 seconds, he'd probably be somewhere in 7th or 8th. Lunacy, though, has broken away from Crackerjack just slightly. They were battling up early in the race, and now Lunacy's kind of pulled away a little bit from McLaren. But yeah, I have to say, though, this circuit, though, is, I would say, in my opinion, it's also one of my favorite circuits on the F1 calendar. Maybe because it's nice, it's beautiful, it's elegant, and, of course, the lights on the cars look absolutely fantastic as well. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and go through the live standings right now. So, right now, so XJ Schmidt is currently your leader. I did say earlier when he had the fastest lap, he would be down by 22 points. 22 seconds. Excuse me, 22 points. Now he would be down by 23 points since he does not have the fastest lap. But Gaming Burger has the fastest lap, but I mean he's not really in the championship right now because he came in late and he was mostly a reserve driver then as well. So now the gap is now closed to 1.8 seconds from Gaming Burger and XJ Schmidt. I have the feeling that Gaming Burger might catch XJ Schmidt within the next couple laps. Maybe this one. As long as Gaming Burger does not make so many mistakes. He did make a little bit of a mistake there. Did not get it. The best of exits, I will say, but it doesn't matter because I think he's going to get closer and closer as we go along. So I think by lap 20 is when these two are going to be battling it out for the race win. So let's see, 1.5 seconds is now the gap between those two. Pretty much the order has pretty much remained the same. Lunacy, though, has gotten a little bit closer, though, to Danny Rick. He's on fresher hards than Danny Rick. This is the battle for 7th place, by the way. So Tay Lunacy could wind up getting 7th place if he can get Danny Rick maybe within the next DRS zone or probably the front stretch. But Crackerjack's kind of closed in a little bit as well. But he's only by 1.4 seconds, so he's not in DRS range quite yet, but Tay Lunacy is. Lunacy goes kind of a little hard on those brakes, but gets a little bit of a better exit than Danny Rick did. DRS isn't available now for the Toro Rosso. So he might be alive for another 7th place finish again, if he can make the move. Let's go back up to the lead, battle for the race lead. Rudy has now another penalty, that's 9 seconds against him. DRS is enabled now for, oh wait, no, DRS is not enabled, excuse me, for Gaming Burger. He's only now down by 0.8 of a second from XJ Schmidt. Now he's got the DRS enabled, and now the gap has gone closer and closer. But the ERS has burned quite a lot, though, from Gamingberg. He must have burned off so much of it when he was trying to push as much as he could to get XJ Schmidt. So now it's only by 0.6 of a second. I think we just set a perfect first sector as well. If I didn't catch that, I'm sorry. So DRS will be enabled once again for the Alfa Romeo. And will he get to him? I don't think he will get to him just quite yet. He will stick behind the McLaren for now. So now the gap is now 0.6 of a second. We'll see if Gamingberg can get to him now. DRS is now back to being enabled again for the Alfa Romeo. Will he get to the McLaren? No, not yet. Tao and Roe are starting to go at it for 4th place. Tao's not that far away. Lunacy and Cracker did get ahead of Danny Rick, so Danny Rick went into the pits for mediums. So Lunacy's up into 7th. But Cal, will he make the move? Oh, he's thinking about the inside. No, he does not stick it in there. He stays behind the Racing Point and will stay in 5th for now. But let's go back up to the battle for the race lead for the Bahrain Grand Prix between these two guys of XJ Schmidt and Gamingberger. Gamingberger still closing in on the McLaren. He's only by 0.6. This is kind of what it was like for Canada and still close between these two, but Gamingberger still staying behind him for now. So if you want to put any comments about how you feel about this race so far, please feel free to put it in the chat, or see and tell me your prediction of how this battle will turn out between these two guys, between XJ Schmidt and Gamingberger, and see who will come out on top. We have now about 9 laps to go until the checker flag comes out, and we will see what the end result will be. Gamingberger does have DRS again, but he is still too far away from that McLaren. Hold on a second, guys, sorry. Sorry about that, a little bit of a technical difficulty. Anyways, back to the battle for the lead. Gamingberger and XJ Schmidt. Danny Rick now has the fastest lap of the race, so he has the key extra point. But Gamingberger and XJ Schmidt still battling out, though, for 1st place. But we are praying and hoping that Gamingberger does not end the race in probably the most heartbreaking loss I've ever seen in an F1 race on a final lap, battling out for the lead. And this is kind of the same thing that this is something that Gamingberger has been doing for like any time they faces against the race leader in the last 2-3 races. He always stays behind the guy, tries to conserve his energy for the ERS, and hopefully, you know, tries to get him like on the key final laps, which I think he's doing right now, I would have to say. But the gap is not that far separate. Separate only by 9/10, which is now Gamingberger's lost nearly 2/10 from the previous laps. Tao and Roe going forward, and Tao goes on the inside, gets by the Racing Point, and the Ferrari moves himself up into 4th place, followed by another bit of DRS. He says, "Thank you very much, Roe," and gets the DRS and stays, and into 4th place. Tal, though, I've seen what I've seen from the previous times that he's done the races, he's kind of known to have quite a bit of bad luck. But so far, I would say he's not had too much bad luck. Except as soon as I said that, he went completely sideways. Please don't make me I hope I'm not cursing you. I'm sorry, Tal. I'm not trying to be the commentator's curse on you, I swear. Alright, back to the battle for the race lead. 3:10 separate now between Gaming Burger and XJ Schmidt. Gaming Burger is still right behind the McLaren. And we will see what they do once he gets DRS. He's going max attack now. Gaming Burger, will he try to make the move? XJ Schmidt goes on the inside. Gaming Burger trying to go over it. Contact made between those two. XJ Schmidt holds that inside line. Will he stick? These two are still battling out wheel to wheel. XJ Schmidt gets ahead of him, but DRS will be back again for Gaming Burger. But DRS is back for XJ Schmidt. He is so lucky that he had the DRS. And he stays in first place for now. Awfully close between those two. XJ Schmidt just tried to zip by the inside line. Just not only to defend the inside line, but also to get away from the slipstream from Gaming Burger, because he had the slipstream. He had the straight line speed. And it just didn't pay off for him. But these two are going to go forward again, this time in the backstretch into the third DRS zone. Gaming Burger with DRS with 82% ERS, but does not do anything just quite yet. XJ Schmidt, though, has plenty of ERS himself, so he has plenty to try to get away from that Alpha as much as he can. But these two are so close. See what goes on here with Gaming Burger. Hard on those brakes, down towards turn 15. XJ Schmidt still feeling the pressure, though, from that Alfa Romeo that's breathing down his neck. DRS back to the enable. He's got the slipstream. XJ Schmidt tries to get away from the slipstream. No, he does not. The Alpha of Gaming Burger goes on the outside. XJ Schmidt tries to defend the inside again, but he's not succeeding this time. Gaming Burger takes the lead of the Grand Prix. But XJ Schmidt's going to come back at him with DRS. He will go on the inside into turn 4. Gaming Burger stays ahead of him for now. A great drive from Gaming Burger after having an atrocious first lap is now in the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of the McLaren. Great job. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. XJ Schmidt just went a little too deep in the brakes and hit the side of Gaming Burger, but thankfully he has no wing damage. But Gaming Burger just went completely sideways. DRS is enabled now for the McLaren. Will he try to make the move before turn 11? No. He stays, or turn 12? No. Stays behind it for now. But he's not too far away to at least get the slipstream and get DRS as much as he can when they get it to turn 15. Right now, he's really kind of falling like a rock a little bit, though, but not quite very much. So let's see what XJ can do with DRS down the front straightaway. Gaming Burger made a slight mistake, though. He went completely sideways. DRS is enabled for the McLaren. Will he make the move on that Alfa Romeo? Down the front stretch. Now he goes to the inside line. Will he make it the inside line? They're wheel-to-wheel bumping tires. XJ Schmidt stays ahead, but does he stay ahead out of turn 2 and into turn 3 on the kink? He gets DRS, still wheel-to-wheel there between the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren. And XJ Schmidt still holding that inside line. This is great racing from these two. Still a little bit of contact there between them on their tires, but Gaming Burger is the best of it. And XJ Schmidt has to come out second best. And these two are still close. Now into turn 9. These guys are still battling it out. What a great race from these two. Unbelievable. And with 3 or 4 laps to go, these guys are still battling out. XJ Schmidt now has DRS again with the slipstream, but he will not get him, I don't think, in this part of the track. No. He thinks about it. He thought about it for a minute, but he does not get it. So he will stay behind him for now. We'll still keep riding on board, though, with this McLaren, though. He's only separated by 3 tenths so far. But he kind of fall up a little bit, got a little bit of a bad exit out of turn 14. Now into turn 15, DRS will be about to be enabled again for the for the McLaren. XJ Schmidt will get DRS down the front straightaway yet again. Gameberger trying to get away from the slipstream. XJ Schmidt wants it. He wants to get the inside line. Does he have enough? No, he does not. He will stay behind the Alfa Romeo for now. With 2 laps to go, Gameberger still leads the Grand Prix. DRS will be back in being enabled. Gameberger makes a slight error out of the kink, but it looks like it will hold for now. Gameberger will stay in first. XJ Schmidt will remain in second, but he does not try to make the move on the inside of turn 4, but he will stay in second place. So now I'm kind of torn between Gameberger and Towle being my drivers of the day, because Towle had like I said, did not have a qualifying lap, and now he's, as soon as I mentioned that, Rowe gets ahead of him and goes into 5th place, but he is in the top 5 and did start the race with no lap time. But Gameberger, after having a bad first lap from going from 7th place, is now up to 1st, leading the Grand Prix with 3 laps to go until the end of this Bahrain Grand Prix is over. SJ Schmidt, though, is still behind him, though. He will get DRS again, but will it be enough? I do not think it will be. The gap is now growing between those 2 cars. So now DRS will be enabled for the McLaren. 2 laps to go now. XJ Schmidt gained that slipstream. He's got a little bit close it by 4 tenths out of that slipstream, but does not have enough quite yet to get by the Alfa Romeo. We'll see what he does after the end of that kink into the second DRS zone. Gameberger now feeling the pressure. He does not have any ERS left, but XJ Schmidt's got plenty of it compared to those 2 drivers. This is going to be a great race for the final lap. XJ Schmidt right behind him now. XJ Schmidt breathing down the neck of that Alfa Romeo. 3 tenths of a second separate between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. We will now go into the 3rd DRS zone, and then once we get towards the finish line, it will be the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. DRS is open again for the McLaren. And does he have enough yet? No. He stays behind him for now. But he has to not make any bad mistakes going out of the end of the 3rd sector. Gameberger right behind that McLaren right now. 5 tenths separate each other, and Gameberger will come towards the final corner for the final time in this lap to start the final lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So now Gameberger and XJ Schmidt will follow each other to the line, and they will start the final lap. XJ Schmidt will get DRS. He's closer. He's gaining there towards the Alfa Romeo. The zigzag from Gameberger. XJ Schmidt goes on the inside into turn 1. Gets him there, bumps him off a little bit into the kink. XJ Schmidt ahead of him now. XJ Schmidt takes the lead again in the Bahrain Grand Prix. What a great move there from the McLaren. And now he is in first. But now these 2 are still close. It's only 4 tenths separate from the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren. This is going to be an interesting final bits of the track. Gameberger, after having a bad race last week from crashing on the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix, may not be looking at redemption yet, as he's down in 2nd place. XJ Schmidt, though, is leading the way, and he has not won a race since the Italian Grand Prix. The Hungarian Grand Prix, excuse me. He hasn't won since the Hungarian Grand Prix. This will be his 3rd win if he can hold off Gameberger for now. He goes a little bit wide there at the end of turn 14. This is going to be very close, though. XJ Schmidt separated by 4 tenths from Gameberger to the final corner for the final time here in Bahrain. It's going to be XJ Schmidt. He will win the Bahrain Grand Prix and gets the fastest lap. And he will get the extra point that he needs. And he will now be down by 22 points from Dougie Falcon, which means this championship fight will carry on to Australia. Gaming Burger finishes in second, and Banana Cake Pie finishes in third, but the racing points, 3 and 4, for Rowie finishing in fourth place. Alcatraz finishes in fifth. Crackerjack, with a great race, finishes in sixth ahead of Tay Lunacy, who finishes in seventh. Rudy finishes in eighth, and Sick and Destroy will get a top 10 finish and finish in ninth place. Danny Rick falls behind him. Oh, but never mind that. He's got a 5-second unserved penalty. So Danny Rickett will bump himself up into 8th place and bumps down Sick and Destroyed to 10th and Rudy to 9th. Alex will come across the line 11th. Very Lazy Towel, who had a crash somewhere at the end of turn 15 and is still turning left. You gotta go right. He led by Blue Dog, and Blue Dog will come across the line in 12th instead. And Blue Dog gets the fastest lap of the race. So never mind, it's 23 points that XJ Schmidt will be down, not 22. And, is it going to be who's going to cross the line first? Okay. Interesting finish to the two Ferraris. But XJ Schmidt, since Hungary, has won the Bahrain Grand Prix. And now the championship fight will carry on to Melbourne, Australia. Congratulations to him, and also to Gaming Burger and Banana Cake Pie. But Gaming Burger, after having such incredible pace, just came so close. But today, it's a victory for the McLaren. Banana Cake Pie also gained the crucial podium and some crucial points as well for the constructor's side. And that is the end of your race. So for the final time, we'll run down the order, and we will close out the series for this stream. XJ Schmidt is your winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Gaming Burger finishes second. Banana Cake Pie in third. Row E in fourth. Alcatraz in fifth. Crackerjack in sixth. Tay Lunacy in seventh. Danny Rick in eighth. Rudy in ninth. Sick and Destroy in 10th. Alex in 11th. Blue Dog in 12th. AU Wayneman in 13th. And Very Lazy Towel finishes in 14th. So sorry to bring the curse on you there, Towel. Even though you were having such a really good race. But I think that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. We will be back next weekend for the final race in Melbourne, Australia. Normally the opener for Formula One. This time will be the last race in this racing league. My name is Racer X. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day and weekend. Have a great night.